Well, it was almost like watching a match played in slow motion, where one team was trying to change the gear of the game and trying to try to push a winner, try to get more goals, and the other team was basically just hoping that they don't concede. Welcome to another episode of Sports with Monga, and we're talking about a match reaction that just ended with Real Madrid, the 14-time champions of Europe in the Champions League, versus Chelsea, Frank Lampard is a lucky man uh, that he is back at the club that he lost his job with, and then he gets a chance and stab at Champions League against Real Madrid, and they've had a history in the last season as well. In the last season as well. So that's kind of interesting in a way to see this game play out. Of course, the winners right now in Santiago Bernabéu, Real Madrid winning 2-0 against Chelsea with a new kind of lineup, completely new lineup. With of course Grandpa gone. Lampard was looking at more saner, or I would say experienced heads, with Thiago Silva in the back, Wesley Fofana, Koulibaly, Reece James, N'Golo Kante, Enzo Fernandez, Kovacic, Chilwell, Sterling, and Felix. I think a lot of players here have good kind of group stage or like quarterfinal stage experience in the Champions League now. And it was interesting to see how the game kind of panned out and played out with Thiago Silva and so on. Of course, a couple of moments in the game, Chelsea was playing 10 men after Chilwell got a straight red for pulling Rodrygo. That was pretty interesting for him to do the way he did it. It was still 1-0, and I think he was hoping that Chelsea would be able to hold on to that 1-0 only and not concede more. Stamford Bridge could be interesting in a week's time, and how this goes. So that's kind of the idea. But then I think, in my mind, with the Real Madrid as well, they were pretty strong at the back. What was very interesting to see that the ex-Chelsea man who went to Real Madrid was starting from the bench. Rudiger did not start the match, and he was at the bench with Thibaut Courtois at the back, Dani Carvajal, Militao, Alaba, Camavinga. He was playing left back. That was pretty interesting to see, to be very honest. Valverde, Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, Rodrygo, Benzema, and Vinicius Junior. And well, you have to see the first goal was pretty almost like they were holding the ball well, but then the pass that just kind of won and it touched. It was like poetry in motion. Dani Carvajal comes in and almost on the center, clicks out Vinicius Junior, who is able to kind of almost try to guide the ball into the goal in the first touch, but then Kepa is able to save it, but it falls directly on the feet of Benzema, who just kind of taps, and almost it's an empty goal. So he scored further, like, more difficult goals than this, and it was interesting to see that he was able to score the goal. But I would say that this was kind of the game where both Real Madrid, they double their lead in the first and double their first half advantage to a healthy 2-0 lead into the second half at Stamford Bridge. The one-way traffic established in the first period continued apace in the second, with Modric and Benzema both having chances early in the half. Chilwell's red card for blatant foul on Rodrygo complicated matters for Chelsea, who finally buckled after Marco Asensio. That was a beautiful goal. Marco Asensio's left foot going through the feet of Fofana. I think Fofana had a really terrible game in my mind. I think he was just kind of lost. He didn't know what he was doing, almost like backtracking every time. Yeah, that was kind of weird to see a player that they've spent so much money for, Wesley Fofana. He's young, he learned, but then that performance was something that he should forget completely, because the second goal was through his legs. Can you imagine that, from a defender's leg, and Kepa is beaten? He should be better. Chelsea held on to prevent Asensio and Vinicius Junior from adding further height to the mountain they're tasked with climbing in the second leg, although the 2-goal advantage for Real Madrid's side this dominant after making it the Los Merengues tie to lose in West London. Vinicius Junior's arrowed running, the lethal ability to beat defenders, raised hairs on necks and bottoms of seats throughout the superb 90-minute performance, with the Brazilian engaging in a game-high 13 duels, winning 8, including 4 dribbles. He had 3 shots on goal, with 2 on target, as well as setting up Asensio's second half finish with 1 of his 4 key passes and completing 5 crosses. Madrid's pressing tattered on the verge of being a frenzy at times. Vinicius more than got involved, winning 2 tackles and free kicks apiece, twice coming up with the possession in the final third. Complete maverick. A 2-0 leg victory means its advantage Real Madrid at the halfway stage of the Champions League semi-final, and their 18 shots, including 10 on target, suggest that their approach will not change at Stamford Bridge. Carlo Ancelotti is amazing. He was just amazing to watch. The substitutions he made, Luka Modric, with Cruz, with interesting at the back, kind of, getting Rudiger, Camavinga out, and so on. That was amazing to watch. Chelsea were under, they were on the course for most of the game, but having limited Los Blancos, just 2 games, they definitely feel a chance. Comeback in epic proportions, and they have done it in 2012. Chelsea did make a comeback after having a pretty bad deficit at Santiago Bernabeu. But I feel that Chelsea will lose this game as well. They will not be able to make it through into the next rounds from here, basically. Because I feel that, they lack aggression, they lack finishing. They don't have any, like Sterling had so many chances. I would feel like there was not a lot of movement. João Felix, they're not kind of strikers in the end. They're very tactical players with very talented tactical players with a lot of kind of they need somebody to kind of feed on with, like, in a way. They can't kind of score goals on their own. Sterling, I have never felt that he's one of those kinds who can just score a goal on his own. But that was interesting to watch. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think? Is this Real Madrid all over again with their 15th Champions League, or do you feel Chelsea can actually, or Frank Lampard at Stamford Bridge can actually cause an upset here? Chilwell will not be playing, I think, so it's a straight red. I think he misses the next leg. Interesting to see how this will then go further, and what Lampard does, because I think Thiago Silva was unhappy with the substitution. Of course, Kante, he kind of it's interesting also Lampard how he brought a very aggressive lineup with Gallagher, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, and Chalobah for the last stage of the game. But then, of course, they couldn't change much. Enzo Fernandez could have had a better game. I don't think he was doing well. But then, yeah, that's the game ended at Santiago Bernabeu, 2-0 to Real Madrid. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Do like this video, do share, and do subscribe, and then I'll catch you in the next one.